Imagine waking up one morning, everything seems normal. The sun has risen, cars are buzzing on the road, your phone notifications are coming in. But something's off. You reach for your wallet, open the banking app, it doesn't load. You try again, but nothing happens. You go to the nearby ATM, it says, out of service. The store owner shakes his head. The card machine isn't working. You check the news, major banks have temporarily stopped. At first, everyone thinks, probably a technical glitch, maybe a cyber attack. But as hours turn into days, people slowly realize the lifeline of modern life, that flow of trust in the banking system, has been cut off. We think money turns the world, but money is just a tool. The real engine is trust. When that's gone, everything starts melting. Watch the video till the end, because this isn't just a money crisis story. It's actually about how fragile the world we live in is and how close it is to exploding. When we say financial collapse, chaos comes to mind, riots, looting, the economy hitting rock bottom. But if banks shut down, the first hours wouldn't be like that. It'd be more confusion. Life would still look normal. People would try swiping cards, transferring money, withdrawing cash. But every time it fails, nerves get frayed. Most people don't know that your money isn't sitting in the bank like you think. You deposit $1, the bank doesn't keep it in a safe. It lends it out, invests it, multiplies it, and says, I'll give it back if you want. This system is built on fractional reserves, endless trust. It's a great trick. 100 people think the same dollar is theirs because the bank said so. This scam works perfectly until everyone says, give me my money! At once. Now imagine this trick collapsing overnight. Within hours, trade stops. Salaries don't get deposited. Supermarkets won't take cards. Taxi apps can't take payments. Rent doesn't go through. Companies can't pay suppliers. The government can't distribute salaries to employees. We're living in a digital age, cash is almost gone. Less than 10% of circulating money is physical. The remaining 90% lives as numbers in servers, in banking networks. When banks go dark, that digital universe fades. Even if this shutdown lasts just a few days, the effects would be deep. Food chains, power grids, hospitals, all tied to just-in-time payment systems. Everything locks up, the waves don't respect borders. In today's world, every economy is connected to each other. We've seen bank failures in history, but never this global and digital. In 1933, during the Great Depression, thousands of banks in the US failed, people formed lines. Roosevelt declared a bank holiday, meaning he shut down the whole system to stop the panic. For days, no one could withdraw money. But back then, there was cash in homes, in pockets. Trade slowed, but didn't end. In 2008, Lehman failed, the world finance almost collapsed. The Fed and central banks printed trillions to save the system. They called it liquidity. But they were actually producing trust artificially. Those were small shakes. Today's system is waiting for a full earthquake, because now there's no paper backing, no gold standard, no physical backup. Everything is numbers on screens and trust tied to codes. The first domino would be panic withdrawals. ATMs empty in hours. Stores that take digital payments turn away customers. Gas stations can't give fuel because suppliers can't get paid. Within a day, logistics, trucks, ships stop. Lines at markets get longer, not because food is gone, but because payments aren't. Panic jumps from digital to real. People barter, stock up, and suddenly cash, that old dusty thing, becomes the most valuable. Governments go on TV, say, systems are fixing, deposits are safe, temporary. But every crisis starts with those words. Now let's think about the structure of the crisis. In every money collapse, Weimar Germany, Lebanon, Argentina, the same cycle, first disbelief, then anger, then desperation. In Lebanon in 2019, banks froze accounts, people couldn't see their lifelong savings on the screen. Withdrawals limited, accounts locked, currency value dropped 90%. Doctors, engineers, teachers reduced to begging for their own money. Sounds crazy, but Lebanon was once the Switzerland of the Middle East. Trust made it rich, distrust destroyed it. What if this goes global? The real disaster isn't financial, it's mental. Money isn't metal or paper anymore, it's belief. A shared story, a number means value, a word means trust. Remember the 2008 crisis. Millions lost homes, jobs, hope. That wasn't just economy, it was mass trauma. Now multiply that, every transaction, shopping, rent, bills, tied to servers. When those servers go silent, people don't just lose money, they lose society's foundation. Governments jump in quick, emergency decrees, bank holidays, maybe martial law. Central banks print money, pump into the system. But this solution is poisonous: inflation. You can't bring back trust by printing money, like pouring gas on fire. Still, they'll do it. Digital accounts guaranteed, debts postponed. Maybe they roll out central bank digital currencies, state-controlled digital cash. They call it security. But it's really control. Every crisis brings centralization. After 2008, banks grew. After the pandemic, governments controlled movement. After bank shutdowns, full digital control comes: programmable money, trackable transactions, end of privacy. But in that darkness, something else is born. When institutions fail, alternatives rise. Gold, crypto, barter, local trade explodes. Rome fell, local economies rose. Inflation in Argentina created street markets. When official trust goes, human trust returns, black market becomes the real market. If banks shut down tomorrow, not just transactions stop, assumptions end too. You realize you don't really own what you think: car, home, account, all tied to digital records. Records erased, ownership melts. Stock market disappears. Crypto spikes first, then drops when exchanges tied to banks fail. Gold becomes priceless, but hard to find sellers. Panic turns to improvisation. Local stores take barter. Farmers give food for fuel. Communities remember old ways: trust, labor, reputation. Sounds dark, but enlightening too. Under modern finance, humanity has always relied on relationships. History shows collapses destroy systems, not people. Rome went, life continued. Byzantine gold ended, trade went on. Great Depression wrecked banks, but communities survived with cooperation. If banks shut down, there'd be pain, chaos, loss, but adaptation too. People rebuild trust in small groups: family, neighbor, neighborhood. When institutions fail, people become the currency. Can it really happen? It can, and we've come close multiple times. In 2023 in the US, regional banks like Silicon Valley Bank failed in hours. Panic spread on social media. Billions withdrawn digitally, regulators couldn't keep up. The system showed how delicate it is. Banks aren't just money storages, they're nations' nervous systems. Governments borrow, pay salaries, fund defense with them. Banks freeze, state freezes. So what would that future be like? Starts with fear, ends with transformation. Governments push unified digital money, central bank account per citizen, no intermediaries, no commercial banks, no privacy. They sell it as security, no runs, no collapses. But under it lies control. Every transaction monitored, approved or denied. Freedom loses to ease. Money's final form, from gold to paper, to code, from individual to full institutional control. But there's another path, quieter. People question the system when the illusion breaks. History shows collapse isn't destruction, it's enlightenment. When banks shut down, we understand what money is, not wealth, belief. Such a convincing story that we built civilizations on it. Story breaks, we write a new one. Maybe not crypto, cash, gold. Maybe in skills, community, values that can't be printed. When banks shut down, world panics, but wakes up too. That's the irony of collapse: ends one illusion, shows the truth. Every age thinks its system unbreakable. Rome, Britain, America. But history reminds permanence is the biggest lie. If banks shut down tomorrow, what happens? Like in every crisis age, world ends for a while, then starts again. Different, smaller, more human. System falls, story continues. Answers aren't in the future, written in the past.